Elite Wrestling's popularity among its fanbase is rooted in the perception that it is a company built by wrestling fans, for wrestling fans, and this sense of authenticity has shaped nearly every element of its presentation, roster management, and booking philosophy. The company emerged in 2019 at a time when dissatisfaction with WWE's creative direction had reached a boiling point, particularly among hardcore viewers who had been voicing frustrations about overly scripted promos, inconsistent booking, lack of long-term storytelling, and a corporate approach that often seemed detached from what passionate wrestling audiences wanted. AEW tapped into this dissatisfaction by positioning itself as an alternative that would respect wrestling's heritage while also pushing it forward, giving performers more creative input and giving audiences matches and moments they felt had been missing from the mainstream scene for years. The fact that AEW was founded by Tony Khan, who openly admitted to being a lifelong wrestling fan and an avid follower of not just WWE but also Japanese promotions, ECW, and the American independent circuit, reinforced the feeling that the promotion was designed with the sensibilities of knowledgeable fans in mind. One of AEW's strongest appeals is its emphasis on in-ring quality. The matches often feature longer run times, more athletic freedom, and varied styles that reflect the international backgrounds of its roster. Viewers accustomed to WWE's heavily agented and formulaic match structure found AEW bouts to be more unpredictable and organic, with wrestlers incorporating a wider variety of moves, sequences, and pacing. Stars like Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and the Young Bucks bring a blend of athleticism and storytelling that connects with fans who want action that feels competitive rather than choreographed purely for television segments. This in-ring focus is further enhanced by AEW's willingness to spotlight different wrestling traditions, whether it's lucha libre influence through performers like Penta El Zero Miedo and Rey Fenix, strong style and technical mastery from Japanese veterans and crossover talent, or hardcore-inspired brawls and death matches that appeal to fans of more extreme wrestling. Long-term storytelling is another key reason AEW resonates so strongly. While WWE has often been criticized for dropping storylines abruptly or rewriting plans week to week based on short-term reactions, AEW has shown patience in building angles over months or even years. The Hangman Page storyline, for example, was a multi-year arc that saw his character evolve from a frustrated member of the Elite to a beloved world champion, with layers of character development and subtle callbacks that rewarded attentive fans. Similarly, the MJF Chris Jericho program, the slow burn tension between MJF and Adam Cole, and the Omega Page rivalry all demonstrated that AEW is willing to invest in continuity and payoff, making the product feel cohesive. This approach gives fans a reason to tune in consistently because they feel their emotional investment will lead to satisfying conclusions rather than abandoned plot threads. AEW also benefits from a roster that blends established stars with rising talent from the independent scene. Established names like Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk during his run, and Jon Moxley brought immediate credibility to the brand, while younger wrestlers like Darby Allin, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Sammy Guevara, and Orange Cassidy were given prominent television time to grow into major attractions. This combination allows the company to appeal both to fans who crave big-name draws and to those who want to see the next generation developed on a national stage. Moreover, AEW often gives its younger talent significant creative latitude in developing their characters, which has led to unique personas that feel different from the overly manufactured characters seen elsewhere. Darby Allin's brooding skateboarding anti-hero vibe, Orange Cassidy's ironic slacker persona, and Eddie Kingston's gritty working-class authenticity are examples of characters that may not have fit into WWE's mold but thrive in AEW because of the looser creative structure. One of AEW's defining features is its willingness to embrace the independent wrestling ethos on a major television platform. Many AEW wrestlers still compete occasionally for independent promotions, and AEW itself has partnered with companies like NJPW, AAA, and CMLL to create crossover events and talent exchanges. The Forbidden Door pay-per-view concept exemplifies this approach, delivering dream matches that would have been impossible in the closed-off environment WWE has maintained for decades. This collaborative spirit resonates with fans who follow wrestling across multiple promotions and appreciate seeing different worlds collide. It also helps AEW stand out as a hub for the global wrestling community rather than a self-contained universe. Another reason AEW has cultivated such loyalty is its relationship with its audience. From the outset, AEW has marketed itself as a company that listens to fans, often incorporating their feedback into booking decisions and acknowledging fan sentiment in promos and angles. While this has its risks, leaning too much into online discourse can sometimes create insular booking that doesn't resonate with casual casual viewers. It has fostered a sense of mutual respect between the company and its core base. Tony Khan's active engagement on social media, while sometimes polarizing, is a visible indicator to fans that the leadership is accessible and responsive, something that is rarely seen in major wrestling promotions. Presentation-wise, AEW blends modern production values with a style that feels less sterile than WWE's ultra-polished presentation. The camera work is dynamic, but not overly reliant on constant cuts, allowing matches to breathe and giving big spots the chance to land without disorienting the viewer. Commentary teams, particularly with voices like Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone, balance storytelling with match calling in a way that appeals to fans who value wrestling as a sport as much as an entertainment product. The use of rankings, while sometimes inconsistently applied, was initially an attempt to give matches stakes and a sports-like feel, something that resonated with those who want logical pathways to title shots rather than arbitrary booking. The pay-per-view structure is another strength. AEW produces fewer PPVs per year than WWE, but each one is treated as a major event with cards built to feel special and significant. This creates a level of anticipation and prevents the oversaturation that can dilute the impact of big matches. When AEW delivers a major match, whether it's Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, CM Punk's return match, or a blood and guts spectacle, the fan base treats it as a landmark moment. This strategy mirrors older wrestling traditions, where major shows were true climaxes to storylines rather than just another content cycle. However, while AEW's strengths are clear, constructive criticism is necessary to understand why love for the company exists alongside potential pitfalls. One criticism is that AEW sometimes caters too heavily to its most hardcore segment, creating a barrier for casual viewers. Dense references to independent wrestling history, niche character work, or intricate callbacks can be rewarding for devoted fans but alienating to newcomers. AEW's reliance on lengthy matches, while appreciated by purists, can also test the patience of viewers accustomed to faster-paced television storytelling. Additionally, the company has faced issues with overloading its roster, signing so many wrestlers that television time becomes diluted, and certain talents fade into the background despite initial pushes. Another area of concern is consistency in booking women's wrestling. While AEW has made strides in showcasing talents like Hikaru Shida, Toni Storm, Britt Baker, and Thunder Rosa, the women's division has often been given less focus compared to the men's. Fans who love AEW still point out that women's matches are frequently slotted into the same time on Dynamite. Storylines can feel underdeveloped, and there is a lack of depth in how rivalries are built. For a company that prides itself on being fan-responsive, there is room to better elevate women's wrestling to the same level of prominence as the men's product. Production pacing can also be a weakness. AEW's desire to maximize its television time sometimes leads to rushed segments, overly packed cards, or matches ending abruptly due to time constraints. While this speaks to the depth of the roster and the ambition to feature as much talent as possible, it can undercut the impact of key moments. Fans may love AEW's abundance of action, but they also recognize that important story beats need breathing room to resonate fully. Despite these criticisms, the love AEW fans have for the promotion is sustained by the belief that it represents the best chance in decades for a major North American wrestling company to challenge WWE in terms of quality, creativity, and cultural relevance. AEW's commitment to showcasing diverse wrestling styles, nurturing homegrown stars, delivering major moments, and engaging with its fan base creates a sense of shared ownership that is rare in modern wrestling. Even when mistakes are made, the perception is that AEW's heart is in the right place, and that makes fans more forgiving and more invested in its success. The touring strategy also fuels fan enthusiasm. By holding shows in wrestling-rich markets and rotating cities regularly, AEW avoids the fatigue that can come from oversaturating one location. Special event branding like Winter is Coming, Beach Break, and Grand Slam adds variety to the weekly schedule and gives fans local shows with big match feel, even if they aren't technically pay-per-views. This keeps interest high and ensures that viewers at home also have marquee episodes to look forward to, reinforcing the idea that major developments can happen at any time, not just on PPV nights. AEW's merchandise approach has also played a role in deepening fan loyalty. The company capitalizes on its wrestlers' creative ideas by releasing unique shirts, posters, and collectibles that reflect the individuality of its talent rather than a corporate template. This allows fans to support their favorite wrestlers in a way that feels personal. The success of merchandise for acts like the Young Bucks, Orange Cassidy, and MJF demonstrates that AEW has tapped into a market that values character-driven branding just as much as in-ring performance. The rapid turnaround from a wrestler's catchphrase or memorable moment to an available piece of merchandise reinforces the connection between the company and its audience, rewarding those who watch closely. This connection between promotion and audience is not purely about nostalgia or rebellion against WWE. It's about the feeling that AEW is a living, evolving project that values the art of wrestling and the people who watch it. The fans love AEW because it makes them feel seen, it rewards their knowledge, it gives them moments that feel earned, and it maintains an element of unpredictability that keeps the experience exciting. As long as AEW continues to build on these principles while addressing its shortcomings, that love will remain not just strong, but foundational to its identity.